So let's just open this up. Dude, there's a lot to like about this, and I don't think we get to see stuff like this every day, and I hope this sounds really good. This is the Osidian TKL V2. They had a V1. I was aware of the V1, never really bought it because at the time, I just, it wasn't a board that I wanted to pick up. But I think now, like, my tastes have changed, and I look at boards like this, and I'm like, well, these are really cool. Like, I like the amount of effort that goes into these. For anyone who's interested, I have a list of, like, what's changed from the V1. So with the V1, it's a new top plate, which it was really cool. I actually got to speak to the people behind Obsidian, or the person behind Obsidian, or the team, and listen to some changes and just feedback they had around their own project. This is the OG project. Okay, so they've redone the top. It's now magnetic, which is really cool. And they've done some other like little minor things, which I feel like might be pointless. It's just like changing radiuses of things, stuff like that. New USB-C port, which I think was really important for the way they're doing this board here, which I'll show you guys. Silicone isolation system, and then upgraded materials, stuff like that. So the big thing is how this board gets opened, because I believe in the OG one, it was kind of like a piece of tape that kind of had it enclosed. Yeah, okay, let me just show you guys the updated version now, the one we're building today. To be honest, I don't know the price of this one. I would assume it's going to be in the same realm of pricing as the old one, which was about 400 USD, probably 400 plus. It makes sense for what this is. Here is the new one. You can already see. This is, I cannot remember how to pronounce this, Lemurian Blue Labradite. So let's just open this up. Dude. There's a lot to like about this, and I don't think we get to see stuff like this every day. You know what I mean? Like, we don't. And I hope this sounds really good. Because we don't get to see stuff like this every day, and it's such a cool concept. Like I said, I got to speak to one of the designers of this board, or the designer of this board, and they legitimately have so much passion that they put into this project. It's refreshing to see that. Like, it really is cool to see someone get excited about something they're making, you know what I mean? So let's just take this off because this is magnetic here. It's really, really refreshing. And you can see the changes that have gone into this. Like, they have this whole frame system that sits inside this stone. The USB-C port is this little piece of aluminum. That way there you don't have to crack or do anything with the stone here. It's so cool. You don't get to see something like this. And this is a Canadian project as well, so that is special to me. But, like, look at this thing. I'm going to be honest, when they were telling me about all these changes, I kind of internally went, this is going to be hard to pull off. When I got handed the board the other day, and I opened this up very briefly to take a look at it, just make sure everything was okay when I brought it from the postal office home, I was shocked. I didn't want to explore the internals that much, but my God, is this thing pretty. Like, it is such a gorgeous piece. And I feel like this is one of those boards that is able to captivate you, and it looks like it's well done in terms of how the isolation and stuff will be as well. Is there room for improvement? I don't know, we'll see. Really, really cool. It does have some of the bigger bubble feet on the bottom over here, which makes sense because you don't want to have too big of a slab of things and make this overly complicated and heavy. You can slightly see through the bottom, I guess. Can you see my hand? Ever so slightly, which is kind of cool. And what's crazy about this too is this doesn't just feel like another keyboard. This feels like a labor of love, and someone put a lot of effort into refining their first project. Which, again, you guys can see the first project, and I got to see a lot of the first project even via like video and some of the other stuff. This is a huge step up. Being able to have like a magnet enclosure on a stone keyboard is absolutely nuts. It's a wild project. So really, really kudos to them, hats off. I think this is really cool. I'm hoping this sounds good. This is going to utilize the Bastion PCB as well, which I thought was awesome. So you won't have to worry about having some sort of like weird proprietary PCB. I like that. I like the fact that this is using a PCB that's already in the wild that you can just buy and pick up and then drop into here. So, now as far as I'm aware, I think you shouldn't have to buy the PCB separately in this case. I don't think you would, but if you do, these are available on Canon Keys. So here's the side profile in case you guys are interested. Again, it's a piece of stone. It is absolutely stunning. It is gorgeous. It's so unique, man. So for the plate, we have mounting points primarily located on the top and bottom that are symmetrical. What I would have done is I would have taken off this mounting point, which can still be done because these are silicone socks. Now I'm just hoping that these won't rattle inside here as we take them off. So that's the one positive thing about silicone socks is you don't have to commit to them. You can just take them off. And just so you guys know too, I'm not keeping this. We're just taking a look. I legitimately think this is such a beautiful project. But technically this stream is sponsored. So we're taking a look at this. I'm gonna give you guys my honest feedback, and honest feedback because I want this project to succeed. I have no doubt in my mind that this is going to be more of a delicate project. It said fragile right on the box. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be a project for someone who is maybe prone to dropping things. Number one suggestion, which I'm sure this team will do, is open this plate file up and maybe make an ISO plate for people who want ISO. That would be really cool, because if it's using the Bastion PCB anyways, why not, you know? Maybe what I'd suggest is silicone points on the top frame, or even just like a little sticker. But again, I think the magnets this might be a different case because it's magnets, just so it doesn't slam down and feel very violent. Because that's kind of usually the thing I get when I have magnetic enclosures, is it feels very violent as you close something. And this is a very delicate, almost luxurious, well, all keyboards are luxurious, but this is a bit more delicate, and I think it would sound really nice not having it slam down with the magnets. So maybe just something to help cushion that. I mean, yeah, you can kind of lift this by the top frame and not have to really worry about it. That's impressive. God, this is so pretty. I hope the sound is like very unique on this too. This is using a Molex connector, which I am not the biggest fan of, but I do like the fact that the parts are readily available, so there's that. I do wish this was a regular schmegular connector. So that just slides in. This is extremely easy assembly. Like, that's crazy. So here is the board without switches so far. What a piece of artwork this is, man. Like my angle that I'm seeing right now, okay, you can kind of see it, like the blue just popping out. There it is. Look at that blue pop right through. Look at that. That's so unique, dude. Yeah, I have the thing right here. I purposely found it for today because I knew people were gonna ask me for it, so we can figure out here. I guess I'll just do pounds. 4 pounds, 2.04 kilos. Not bad. I have another really cool suggestion for the team. Although I probably still think the aluminum top is probably the best overall idea. Imagine going with a polycarbonate top, so you can just see everything inside.
Hello.
All right, let's see if this has a unique sound profile to it, shall we? I mean, this is already a good sign. Ooh. I'm gonna do this really early, I know, but I want to swap this for a cherry. I feel like the cherry is gonna hit harder. See? All right. Oh, this is nice. I mean, this sounds really good. All right, this sounds really good. There is no resonance in this at all, except for the top area here, which I want to try one thing. I just want to carefully take this off. I want to try. So that's it without the top frame. So this top frame does add a bit of sound. Interesting. The top frame clamps it together and gives it quite a unique feel to it. So I want to just do a little bit of a force break in quotations. Okay, I'm just gonna put like a few pieces around specifically here. And again, I would actually like to see them adopt that thing we saw on the Lotus, which is putting like force break material in the cross section of the TKL. I thought still that was like such a smart thing to do. Okay, I feel like this did exactly what I wanted it to do. Just to show you guys what the spacebar sounds like with these on, because I didn't actually show you guys this. It kind of cheapens the sound a little bit, and then feeling wise, it is way too stiff. Not a fan. I would take these off. I would say if you're picking up this board, obviously it's all preference. You don't need to install these. Just yoink them off. Slap the top on. So, okay. Yeah, it opens it up a lot more. So I think there is still, you know, some very minor areas in which this case can get even better. Again, just to go over some of those small things, I think figuring out a way to better, because there was a little bit of a, you know, a little hiccup here where it's kind of popping out a little bit on the top right side, causing the frame to not sit 100% even. That, I don't know how exactly or what's going on with that. That requires me to do a little bit more deep diving. That might be even a warped plate, but perhaps making these gaskets a smidge shallower. I don't think it needs to be done though. I just think maybe it's the plate. I wouldn't go ahead and ruin something that's already working really well. But I do think adding a bit of a force break with some sort of Teflon tape around the edges, even in this cross section, would be extremely smart. Not only is that going to help protect you from slamming the pieces together with the magnets, which work very well, but it also, as we demonstrate, changes the sound profile in a positive way, a little bit less metallic-y noise. The case is extremely easy to assemble. I love what they did with this. They absolutely knocked it out of the park with how a stone case gets assembled. It is a cool blend of aluminum, magnets, silicone, stone, and tech. Like, this is such a fantastic project. I love that this is also Canadian made too, because I'm from Canada, so this is cool to see a Canadian brand doing this. I would still probably just remove, honestly, the bottom mounting point here. Like, I don't think there's a complete necessity to keep it there. I would also, this is less important now, but I would also maybe change the plate to black. I think a black plate would make this look a lot more complete looking, instead of having the silver plate where it looks a little bit cheaper, because it's not a cheap looking case. Not at all. But that's a very small nitpick. I also think bringing some of the stone into the badge over here would also be an outstanding idea. But the badge does look cool on its own too. I like that they added a little something there. That is cool. Again, I think this is so smart for them to do this. I want to give them credit here, because I've seen stone cases in the past. The fact that they put a piece of aluminum here and did a proper cutout for a daughter board is a lot. I think that's a really smart move, mainly because I've seen on stone cases where they just do a huge cutout and then they just do a PCB with a fixed USB-C, and it really makes the case look just like any other drop-in case. This feels like a complete project because of that. There you can see also that small little gap I was telling you guys about, caused by the gasket pushing up too far. But wow, what a crazy good idea this is. And then just look at that stone too. It is so pretty. But very, very smart design choices here. And again, I'll gush about this too. The fact that they added a little lip so you can easily take off the frame. Very smart. Extremely easy makes it extremely easy to disassemble. I love the internal metal frame here as well. Yeah, and then honestly, I would also push the team to maybe explore some different top choices. Like a polycarbonate would be really cool for this. And again, I will say this, I feel like talking to them over the last few months of just getting to know the team and just getting to know like the story of this board and even the V1. I feel like compared to what I've seen in the V1 KB, I feel like this is a more complete project at this point. Like this feels a lot more of a complete unit, which also on another note makes me really happy to see something like this get iterated on and become better. See ya, love you, and talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Ooh.